Libra, what's up? It's Kendrick from Providence Tarot, and I'm here to give you your messages for July. This is kind of like the first installment of the proofread. Here we go. I'm a double Libra, and I have a planet there. Ooh, oh my goodness, thank God. So this is hopes and wishes and dreams fulfilled. It's kind of like feeling like you're getting closer to your goals. There's a sense of intuitiveness here. There's a sense of expediency here as well. So maybe you need to kind of like expedite a process of something that maybe you've been waiting on right now, and just kind of like get moving on the creativity, and also, you know, just so you can really have that abundance that you deserve. And this is well-deserved abundance, you know. It's thinking about your passions and where you are going with those passions, and how your foundations can, you know, assist you into, you know, accomplishing your goals. What do you know? What have you learned? What are you good at? What's special about you? What's going to get you there? Okay? And this is Neptune, which is talking about illusion, but it also is talking about magic in terms of like being able to do those things that, you know, we don't necessarily show people all the time. Showing what's special, you know? And it's also sharing what's special, okay? Being driven by compassion, okay? Here we go. And also this 9 is talking about something being discovered. You're discovering something new. You're going new places as well with this 9 of Cups being here. Okay, you're dealing with the Pisces. The Hangman came up. The Hangman's been coming up for a lot of people. If you're a Libra, Pisces is your 6th house. And maybe even a little bit of your 5th house, perhaps. No, 6th house, and maybe a little bit of the 7th. So yeah, this could even be just dealing with, you know, not wanting to move on something. You're waiting for a situation to have a little bit more clarity to you in your mind, so that you can determine how you feel about it. Because right now you just might be having a little bit of mixed feelings. You might be feeling a little bit emotionally vulnerable. And also there's a healing process that's taking place, and you need to also use your environment to help you heal. Whatever it is that you have access to, if it's music, if it's art, if it's colors, if it's sounds, anything that is actually going to feed your senses and nurture it in a way that's going to provide some sense of healing, right? We're thinking about that. We're also thinking about talking or reading, maybe reading a little bit more, okay? This is kind of like informing yourself with a little bit more of that information that you might be trying to look for on an internal level. Maybe you need to just kind of like ask God, ask your angels, your ancestors, whoever it is, whatever deity or divine energy you pray to, you need to just kind of like seek guidance there, right? Divine guidance. This is definitely divine guidance as well, because the 9s are talking about guidance and going there, and this is Pisces, right? So definitely dealing with that. How are you feeling vulnerable? Maybe you need to put that into action by showcasing some form of that, right? Or showing your appreciation for those parts of yourself. Anyway, I'm talking, I don't even know. All right, look, another 9. So it is talking about where you're going with something. Okay, so focusing on your goals, your hopes, and your dreams is going to require you, you know, spending a little bit of time by yourself to take care of the things that you need to take care of. You know, I'm getting Leo energy, so maybe you have a Leo placement. Look at where your Leo placement is and what is there for you. And if you're a Libra rising, your Leo placement is your 11th house, which is talking about friends. So this could be talking about detaching in that kind of way, or maybe just kind of like, you know, how have your emotional needs been being met? Have they been being met? And what can you do to meet those emotional needs? Where can you go? What's going to actually, you know, suffice for you? And you might be saying, you know what, I'm going to put myself in a position to work with something that will suffice, right? And this is also kind of like creating a safe space for yourself, because the moon is also talking about a safe space. The nines are talking about a safe space that other people cannot penetrate. So this is kind of like not letting other people penetrate the goals and aspirations that you may have for yourself, and remembering the foundational energy, or nurturing your foundation in some kind of way to take you even further than you've gone before, right? And this is kind of like feeding something too, okay? The legwork, okay? All right, so let's look at what's behind this Nine of Cups here. It's the Eight of Swords. So hopes and dreams, goals, right? And interference. So don't let any other people interfere with your goals. Don't let the thoughts or the opinions of others, or maybe even their psychological impressions of you, and how their psychological impression of you may have some power over them. So then that is projected through energy, right? To you, okay? And then you kind of like feel that, because it's almost like a sense of clairvoyancy. Yeah, be aware of what people think of you. You know what I mean? Who cares, right? And it's kind of like when you know what people think of you, you actually have a little bit more power. So think of it that way. Don't think of it as like, oh my God, they think it is of me. But when you know what people think of you, then you actually have the power, right? Because then they don't have to know what you think of them. Air. Anyway, this is talking about the fear of interference, or the fear of not succeeding or not getting there, because the eights definitely talk about power, and it talks about encouragement, motivation, and also just kind of like, being very responsible for your own success. So sometimes you have to temper the ways about you in order to open the gates to where it is that you want to explore, right? And this is Jupiter in Gemini, right? So this is a very explorative planet, being in a very explorative sign. So don't restrict yourself. You need to open up the gates, because they're not locked, and just explore that area a little bit more, okay? And the Hangman, what's behind that? It is the Knight of Swords. So this squares this, right? Pisces squares Gemini, and we're also thinking of like, right, so no longer do you want to experience the power of interference, okay? And the Knight of Swords is saying, I was in that place of fixed energy, right? I'm not realizing how something may have been affecting me, but I have been affected this entire time. Bam, choosing to change it, choosing to adapt to a new situation, right? Because the Knights are talking about bringing in or ushering in a new situation that changes the dynamic of things. And this is someone that just kind of like may say something to you and make you realize something, okay? And then it just kind of like reinvigorates you in some kind of way. Or you might just be feeling reinvigorated, and it's going to be coming out in the ways that you express yourself verbally, perhaps, or even just the ways that you may dress, or the ways that it's just kind of like new and changing things up, and people might be noticing it because people are drawn to noticing fire, okay? And then it's kind of like this Knight of Swords being Gemini, it's like, connecting with that change. People are noticing that change and connecting with it. So continue to go along with it, don't interfere with it, and let that transformation happen in your mind. Okay, so with this Nine of Wands here, right? Detaching, creating that safe space for yourself, getting out of a bad situation before, it affected you too much emotionally, right? Bam. Clarity in the mind and clarity in the feelings, okay? Maybe you're now you're able to flow a little bit more creatively. I like that this is what we're closing the energy out with. This is just feeling like you're in that environment where you can flow a little bit more emotionally, creatively, and you can just kind of like be in the beauty of that, okay? This is trusting in the environment, and also just feeling a need to celebrate that something is being nurtured, something is being healed, something is being satisfied, and there is a sense of comfort and security that you are aware of, okay, inside of you. And this is good. I feel like this is good. People are noticing you, the beauty, okay? And people are noticing what you have to say, and they're feeling some kind of way about it. And that's noticing what you have to say creatively. Email me at providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com if you'd like a reading with me. Follow me on YouTube and Instagram. It's Providence Tarot, and my personal account is NYC Kendrick.